Hello everyone, welcome to Kempner Sports. This is where I recap the games, and I'm going to be recapping with you about the NFC Championship Game. And I want to read you a quote that I read from Aaron Rodgers after Week 12, after we lost 37-8. He said this: "If we see them again, we will be ready." No, we won't. We were not ready. We were not prepared. We did not come out with our game plan. They dominated. Let's give credit to the San Francisco 49ers on going to the Super Bowl and kicking our butts. That is exactly what happened. The first half was an absolute embarrassment. 27-0. I don't know about you, but I wanted to turn it off. But because I'm a fan and a true fan, I'm like, no, I want to watch this because you never know in the NFL. You know, Falcons lost the Super Bowl, so you just never know. I mean, there's those people, like, for example, there was a fan in Kansas City after they were losing, I think it was 21-0 to the Texans, left the stadium and said, "I can't handle this." And he missed 51 points by his Kansas City Chiefs. And so I'm not one of those guys. By the way, timeout. When it comes to being a fan, you don't have to think we're going to win every game. In fact, this crazy garbage of that you're not a true fan unless you say that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. If you don't predict the Green Bay Packers to win every game, that's ridiculousness. Listen, that's not realistic. That's not always possible. You can't win every game. Look at the New England Patriots and their dominance, and they didn't win every Super Bowl. They didn't win every game. So if you would have said to me, "Trevor, what is going to be, what's going to happen in that game?" I would have said, I do not know. The gut instinct, I think it's going to be the Chiefs versus the 49ers. Why? I just had a bad feeling. We played them in Week 12 and lost 37-8. 37-8. It wasn't like 24-21 or, 35-28. It wasn't like that. It was 37-8. And so I'm listening to all these press conferences, and they're just downplaying Week 12. We were in the wrong gaps, and we were in the wrong place, and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they have an elite defense, the best defense in the NFL, and their run game was unbelievable. In fact, one of our weaknesses is that we have a hard time some games stopping the run. And that's what they did. They ran the ball down our throats the entire game. In fact, I believe the 49ers passed the ball 8 times. 8 times. That's nothing. And in fact, yes, Garoppolo had 8 pass attempts, and 6 of them were completed for 77 garbage yards. There was a moment in the game where I was like, it was so bad, I was trying to think of positives. I'm like, well, at least George Kittle's not destroying us like last game. And just when I said that, he went and got a massive yard. He had 1 catch for 19 yards. The one time I'm like, oh, at least he's blocking. At least we shut down George Kittle. No, we didn't shut down George Kittle because their game plan was to run the ball down our throats, to destroy us on defense oh man. Think about that. It just flusters me that we were not prepared. We were not ready. Our game plan, what did you think was going to happen? You think they were not going to run the ball? So you can tell how frustrated I am. Now, this leads me to a couple things. It reminds me of what happened to Seattle. We came out and we kicked Seattle's butt in the first half. We just did. But see, the difference was in the second half, Seattle came out to play and totally dominated us in the second half, and we just held on to win. Now, for all you Seahawks fans, and I live in Seahawks country, and so I'm hearing this all the stinking time, and you know that I'm a Packers fan. First and foremost, I'm a diehard Packers fan. But my next favorite team is Seattle. And I was excited about their season. I love Russell Wilson. I love a lot of what they do. I loved it that Marshawn Lynch came back. I loved a lot of things about Seattle. But listen to me. This texting and trolling is just complete bitterness. Some of you guys out there saying, Seattle would have played them better. No, you wouldn't have. You want to know why? Because your team is so stinking injured that we destroyed you in the first half, and somehow you turned it around and made a game of it. But if you played the 49ers with this team, I'm telling you right now, you got destroyed yesterday. There is no doubt in my mind. Now, would have you scored in the first half? Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? You didn't make it. You lost. Now, I hope Seattle goes far next year. And, here's the other thing, though. This is the other side of the story. As Green Bay Packers fans, we enjoyed that victory, and we loved a lot of that game. But let's be honest. They were missing Carson. They were missing Penny. They were missing some key players. And I don't know what would have happened if they had Carson. So, listen to me. This is just absolute craziness, what's going on now. People, what they do is they want to blame everyone. Let's blame the coach. He's a rookie coach. He won 13 games, or actually 14, a playoff game. And they're appearing saying, oh, it's time for a new quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is over the hill. He's done. Listen, if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, we would have lost 37-8 again. Positive note, we scored 20 points this time. The problem is, they scored 37 again. Now, here's the thing. Second half was so much more better for us. So much better. But if you think about it, they scored 27 points in the first half, and they only scored 10 in the second half, where we scored 20. So we outplayed them in the second half. I know Aaron Rodgers threw that last pick there with Sherman, but he was forcing it. We needed something to happen. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers had a pretty good game considering everyone in the first half was garbage. Everyone. There was not a good thing that happened on our side of the ball defensively, offensively. It didn't matter. But in the second half, Adams came to play. Aaron Jones had showed some flashes of brilliance. I loved watching Lassard. Jimmy Graham showed up again, which is just awesome to see. Aaron Rodgers had over 300 yards passing. But when you have a running back go and what did he get? 220 yards rushing? I believe that was the second most in NFL history. That was insane. Absolutely insane. So am I disappointed? 100%. Am I bailing on my team? Absolutely not. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, and I go Pack Go all the time. I'm so excited to be a Packers fan. Now, here's the thing. We don't know how we're going to do. You know how hard it is for teams just to get to this point? I loved that we were able to watch all the previews, all the different stories, all the interviews, that our team was in it. We're in the top 4 of the best teams in the league this season. But it's so hard to get here. And in speaking of those stories, there was 2 stories that really stood out. I loved the Smith interview with both of them. That was fantastic. But they interviewed Davante Adams and Aaron Jones, and they were talking about coming out of high school, what they were ranked. Well, Aaron Jones was ranked number 3 stars, and only 5-star high school players got huge scholarships, got all kinds of people on in them. He said he had 3 universities asking for him to play, and that's it. And so he had to pick one of those 3. Davante Adams was ranked 1 star. 1 star, and obviously he can compete with the big boys. In fact, he had a monster game again. 9 catches, 138 yards. I mean, against that defense, that was unbelievable. He was fantastic. To make the NFL alone was a miracle. To do what he's doing, absolutely stunning. In my opinion, he's top 5 wide receiver, maybe even top 3 wide receiver in the league. So there's a lot of good things. Our defense was way better this year. We can't throw out this whole season and say it was garbage. At the end of the day, we lost. And you know what sucks about losing? Is that when you lose in the playoffs, it's final. It's like, it's not death, but it feels like death. Because what happens is you go in, it's over, your season's over, and you got to clean out your locker room and all those guys you built all those memories with. The blood, sweat, and the tears, it's over. Who knows who's going to come back next year? People are asking who we should sign, re-sign, who we're going to get in free agency. We don't know. But it's just a final feeling, and it hurts to lose. All those guys have really worked hard. But you know what? Congratulations to the 49ers. You guys absolutely deserve to be in the Super Bowl. 13-3, then you win 2 playoff games, both at home. Now you're going to play Kansas City. Now what's going to happen in the Super Bowl? I'm not really sure. But if you think of it from a fan perspective, just a fan of the NFL, you're literally going the best offense in the league versus the best defense in the league. And that is exciting enough. I'm so excited that the 49ers and the Chiefs are playing against each other. That's great. I mean, I would prefer my Packers to be in that game, absolutely. But if we showed up like we did this game, what's worse? That would be awful. Anyways, so here's the thing. Everyone wants to talk about Kansas City's offense. Everyone wants to talk about the 49ers defense. But what we need to talk about is, can the defense of the Chiefs stop the offense of the 49ers? That is where this game's going to be won and lost. As not just turnover battle and all those other little cliches, and we all know that. But at the end of the day, which is better? And we saw it from Green Bay's perspective, that offense is a lot better than people are giving it credit for. Now, when the preseason started, I made a prediction that Kansas City was going to beat Green Bay in the Super Bowl. Now, that was a major stretch for me to say that Green Bay was going to be in the Super Bowl. But look how well we did. And here's what I didn't know about Green Bay. I didn't know we were going to have a good defense. I didn't know the Smith brothers, well, they're not brothers, but they are brothers, were going to be that good. I didn't know that, these additions with Amos and Savage being drafted would be the difference makers. I didn't know that Lassard was going to be good. I didn't even know his name at the beginning of the season. So when I saw that during the season, I started getting excited. Like, maybe my prediction could come true. Maybe it's realistic. And then, this is the other thing I didn't know, and most people didn't know. With that prediction video, I said, don't sleep on the 49ers. They're really good. They're really good. Now, I did predict the Rams to win that division because I didn't think the Rams were going to stink this bad. But the 49ers are the real deal. And I'm pumped for it. So if you say to me, Trevor, who's going to win the Super Bowl? I honestly don't know. But my guess is I'll probably just stick with my Kansas City from the beginning of the season moment there. But at the end of the day, it's going to be an exciting Super Bowl. It's going to be fun to watch. And I'm so glad that this is why people like watching the NFL, because you don't know who's going to win on any given Sunday, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I don't know when I'm going to do another one. I might do a free agency one. I might be a who we should re-sign one. I might do a draft one. I don't know. But if you've liked these videos, please comment, like, or subscribe. Subscribe would be great. And I'm going to switch more gears now. It's now the off season. But all this talk that we need a new quarterback. Last thing I'm going to mention about that. We do not need a new quarterback. Down the road, we're going to need a new quarterback. Absolutely. But this garbage that we're just going to draft a quarterback and he's going to be the next Rodgers or Favre or whoever is absolutely... They don't grow on trees, guys. Now, we said, well, what about Russell Wilson? Complete fluke. Late first round pick. Nobody knew that Russell Wilson was Russell Wilson. Well, people say, hey, could draft Mahomes or Watson. Well, our draft pick's late, and they picked Trubisky for them. So you gotta nail this draft pick. And here's the other thing. Like, people think these guys just grow on trees. They don't grow on trees. There's so much fluke that's going on. Deshaun Watson's fantastic. But there's all kinds of misses. What would you be happy right now if our backup quarterback was Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Haskins? Like, we don't know what's going to happen with those guys. But you just think, oh, we're just going to draft another quarterback and we're going to be fine. No, we're not. You got to pick the right guy. You got to nail that draft pick. That's a franchise-changing draft pick. And so it's not just like, oh, we need a new quarterback, draft one. No, it's way harder than that. Anyways, long story to say. Let's keep Rodgers. He's still an elite quarterback. He's a legend. He's my favorite Packer of all time. And yes, is he getting older? For sure. Is Brady getting older? Absolutely. These guys are unbelievable quarterbacks. Some of the best our game has seen. And man, I love being a Packers fan. I had a guy tell me today, I'm so sorry that you're a Packers fan today. Trying to say, hey, I'm sorry for your loss. But I said, you know what I said to him? I said, I'm not sorry I'm a Packers fan. I'm actually proud to be a Packers fan. And that's how you should be with your team. I don't care if you're the Seahawks. I don't care if you're the Chiefs. I don't care if you're the Browns. There should be like some pride you have in your team and accomplishment. Well, maybe not the Browns, but you know what I'm saying, right? Raiders. You got to have some pride in your team. You got to have some confidence in your team. But hey, at the end of the day, there's only one Super Bowl champion. And unfortunately, it wasn't us this year, but what a great season. I have loved this year. What more? There's only one thing I could have asked more, that we would have made it to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. Man, thanks so much for watching. God bless, and go Pack Go.